extra year around the earth taught me, it's taught me this. Just because you can lift 450 pounds on bench press doesn't mean you have to carry the groceries in one trip. NANI? Dynamite! Dynamite! I get real casual with this shit. I write my notes down. I don't have anything to preface it with. This is all my personal experience. But as a man, as an experienced man, I want to give y'all some things. And I guess I want to say, first and foremost, hey, welcome to the show. This is the Identity Booth. I turned 34 yesterday, September the 5th. I can see Quay's message. I wonder why I can't see the messages on my big boy screen. It's popping up on the screen, but it's not popping up in my chat. I gotta fix that later. But yeah, basically, birthday was just happening, and I had a conversation with my younger cousin, and he posed a question to me. He was just like, "Damn," he did one of these. I was like, "How old are you now?" I was like, 34. He's like, "Damn." I was like, whoa, slow up. What you mean? He got super alerted. Slow your roll. I'm a veteran. And he asked me a very question, a real ass question. He was like, "What's different now? What's different now?" And that shit baffled me. So I said I was gonna make a list as I thought about it all day yesterday and all day today. A few things, 10 things that not necessarily different, but I'm happy. 10 things that I've done or 10 things that I'm doing that I'm happy that I'm doing and figured out before I turn 30. Because one thing I have realized that I get the guys who become the get off my lawn type. Get off my lawn. I don't like nothing new. I don't like anything to change. Things were better in the old days. It's because those people got left behind. When a man stops growing mentally, they become a shell of themselves. It's almost sickening. And I've started to see it now. There's people that as a younger version of me, I looked up to. I found profound. And now I see them. And they say shit like, "I want to get like you. You were the fucking blueprint, my guy. How'd you fuck up the build?" But another thing that comes to mind is most people don't understand struggle. And that's the first one I want to start with. I am happy I struggled early and often. But don't misunderstand struggle for experience or improvement. Someone who struggles, you feel me? Someone who struggles, is it going to get better if they didn't have the potential to start with to get themselves out of that situation? Hear that shit out, man. If you struggle but don't have a plan, don't have the tools to get out of that struggle, you're not learning anything. You're not even getting better. You're just hurting yourself. And that's why struggle without proper means of expression is pointless. It's mindless. Don't struggle just to be struggling. Understand the purpose of your struggle. What's an example of this? Hey, Saturday night, you working on a budget? Is it important to treat yourself? Sure, it's important to treat yourself. But you're on a budget right now. So you got to struggle right now so you can relax later. It's great to know that all around the country, I got motherfuckers getting ready for work tomorrow. I got people getting it. I got it good. I got it good. After this, I'm going to go play video games with my friends. All my bills are on auto. They could take $10,000 out of my account. I probably wouldn't get an alert about it. Would not. Another thing. Start showing up to the young people events. And by this, I don't mean go into the club, guys and gals. Because I think this goes for men and women. It means showing up to the events that young people plan or host to garner some type of notoriety. The fashion shows, go. The college don't go to the college party. Go to the college what's it called? Like letter A club. Go to the science fair. Like go show up to these events. Baseball games, football games, all those things are important. But show up to the shit that probably doesn't get the people out of the hood the fastest. Show up to the talent shows, but show up. Be an active contributor. There's something really powerful. I was at an event. It was at a director of mine. She's getting a lifetime achievement award for her work in in transplants. And I showed up to this event, and they were like, "Oh, Heero, please come sit at this table." I'm like, "Oh man, I'm not trying to be part of that whole. This ain't my day." But like, no, she by request, I saw her look at me off from the stage. She was like, "Sit your ass down there." And then when they went she went to point to all her astounded people who helped her. She pointed us our table, asked us to stand up so people could applaud us. Because when she was going through those trenches in those difficult times, I was representing for her. And it was important for people to see me be represented as a bunch of young people are aspiring now to become healthcare workers. Show up for those events. It's more important to show up for these events than it is to go to church, than it is to go to any of these parties. Spending money on bottle service in a lick second. That sounds great, but that's your money. How about spending the company's money? Because there's nothing after that party. We went to the Ritz-Carlton and paid for that our section on the company's dime. Feel me? That's a baller ass move. They asked me. I swiped the card. They asked me, "What's the password to the card?" I said, "I don't know. It's a company card." Charge it credit. Charge it credit. We not broke over here. Something else that I've started to do that I'm still working on is when I say no, that's it. No further explanation. And if this comes with territory, there's certain things where explanation will be needed, right? Certain times where people just won't understand the game plan. They won't know. They weren't born in it.
I was born in it.
Mm-hmm.
Molded by it.
Yeah, some people just won't understand. So you have to give them more. But when people are asking you to explain yourself, to challenge you, no. It gives you a sense of control. I was in a meeting, and I'll be having another meeting about whether or not I'll stay with my current company because of contract negotiations, right? And they were just like, "So how are things going? Everything all right? Have you done this? Have you done that?" I said, "Oh yeah, everything's fine. Everything's good. Have you thought about the contract?" "No, I haven't." The level of discomfort in that room, it forced them to say this, and it gave me a great opening. "Well, we're hoping to keep you here as we have a lot of projects with your name on it." "Oh, so I am an asset. Thanks. And now I have you on record saying that. Let me put that in a save file so I have that for later." Hold your tongue so that you can actually use the tools you have to your benefit. It's a great asset. It's a great asset. You feel me? Somebody's challenging you on a level that you don't feel comfortable, just stop talking. You're free to talk, you're free to not to talk. That's a powerful weapon. Another thing that's crazy to me that I don't know why, use your benefits. I hear a lot of people talking about their PTO. "Oh, I need my PTO, I need my PTO. And their teeth are so fucking ugly.
Oh, yeah!
Teeth brown as shit. Talking about they get sharp chest pains anytime they walk up a flight of stairs. Go Get yourself checked out. Please.
I heard what you said about me a few days ago, yeah.
Too many people have these jobs where they believe not using their benefits makes them a better employee. They will fire you and rehire someone that look just like you, talk just like you, think just like you, and forget and fuck around, call that person by your name when you're gone. Use your benefits to maintain your health, because it's crazy enough that our health care is associated to our benefits, but they keep you so busy you can't go to the dentist. You can't go to the doctor. Men, you should be having at least an annual checkup. At least. If you don't exercise, you should be going at least twice. Right? Use them benefits, y'all. Another thing that I'm happy that I established early and often, and this one goes in rank and file with what's going on currently. So my brother's getting married. Clap it up. You know. Brother's getting married. Good things happening. But usually when good news like that happens, family, whether they know it or not, this is for the older generation, and it's important for me to be able to defend older generations and and remind the older generation and current generation of how to handle this. If you're talking to a person who you believe is of age to be married or have kids, fight the urge not to ask them about their dating life or if they want kids. Fight that urge with everything you got. Because there are many things you don't understand about today's world that used to be acceptable in your dumbass world. And they don't matter. When people ask me, hey, Heero, and respectively, this is probably why I don't get asked the question as much. And I feel bad for women more than I do myself in this situation. Because I can say what I'm about to say and get away with it. Somebody will ask me from my family, hey, when you bringing a girl home? And I always say, I mean, which one? I have a catalog of them. Like, which one do you want me to bring home? Let's look at some Instagram photos. Why don't you pick one? And they're like, oh, come on, be serious now. I'm like, no, seriously, I'm really fuckable. Look at me. 6'5", 300 pounds, chocolate as fuck, long hair. Heavily educated. NFL. I'm not like you. I didn't have to settle for auntie. I can fuck around. I can have multiple women. I might bring 2 women next time. How about that? And they become uncomfortable. That's not what we raised you to do. You didn't raise me. Aren't you divorced? This is your second auntie. I had a one auntie and this is 2 auntie. Where's one auntie? I feel like I respect her more. I can challenge people like that. They're not going to do anything to me because more into this point, you better talk gently to me because there's nobody I need because nobody's paying my bills. Yeah, family's nice to have, but you should only have to be nice to the family that's going to bury you. So if I'm being honest, the only people that will probably outlive me in my family is Nafi and Luke. So I'm really nice to them. Extremely nice to them. Love them to death. Go to bat for them. Whatever they need, whatever they want, they can have. I'll give it to them. Because if I die, they'll be the ones to bury me. My parents can't afford that shit. My parents better be nice to me because I'm going to bury them. My mom's mad at me because I hiccup of doing this. You let several other people call me on my birthday to wish me happy birthday, even though you carried me for 9 months. Joke's on you. It's just weird. So this point is really being drawn out to say, draw those lines in the sand as with your family members. Let them know that it's not appropriate for them to say or do things around you that's just not acceptable. And if they don't want to respect that, you don't have to keep coming around. It's weird to me. Like people say, "Oh, he does." These people don't come to the church or they don't come to the mosque anymore. Yeah, because that shit sucks. I remember the day I decided to stop going to religious settings because me, as a 10-year-old kid, playing around, roughhousing and wrestling, trying the WWE moves from wrestling out in the lobby instead of being in Sunday school, we get scolded. And he gives us the ultimatum. Hey, do you want to go back upstairs to learn? Or do you want to go sit downstairs and just wait on everyone so you can leave? He's scolding us. I don't care about this shit. I'm going downstairs. And he smacks me in the face for making a decision that he gave me an option to. And I asked him right then and there, I said, so that's what they teach you when you go to Sunday school? And he says, get out of my face. I was 10. I left. But then I made that decision, never going back. Come to find out 10 years later, he's got 3 kids by 2 different women. So holy. So holy. It's crazy. But set those boundaries. Make sure your family members speak to you gently, especially the ones that you will bury. Because they don't have the luxury of being mean to you. They need you. This one is more of a one-off one, but I think it's super important still. However strong you were at whatever point you were the strongest in your life, for me, it would have been when I was 21, because that was when I was performing for the combine. Find one thing that you feel that you can outpace yourself with now. And for me, I picked bench press because my bench press was always good, but it was never like the best. And I remember in college, I had a bench press of 395 for 2, which means I could do 400, but I could never just get 400 up. Well, this past winter, I hit 450 for 1, and I was just like, okay, I got that in the bag now. That's mine forever to keep. Is there a reason for me to be hitting 450? No, but now I know I could do it. And furthermore, it's a constant reminder to me that development and proof of concept is ever changing and everlasting. Keep training your mind, body, and soul to be better than it was yesterday. Perform a PR. These are some basic ones that I always talk about. Travel. If you can't afford it, save for it. Go out of your comfort zone. I'm fortunate to have traveled a lot and traveled for pleasure and for business. Learn to speak customs and cultures, not people. Understanding cultures and customs will take you way further than trying to understand people, because people are categorized into customs and cultures. Read more books. Read books that challenge. This is one right here that I now understand about, like, those people who say, like, if you watch too much TV, it'll rot your brain. After watching a bunch of adults that I used to look up to as a child stop reading, it became painfully clear to me that was the thing that separated them. Like, one thing I always try and do is read whenever I'm online or whenever I'm doing these streams. Like, I don't take offense to me making mistakes and hiccups, and that's fine, because I'm constantly pushing myself to not let go of that attribute that is so covenant about how you understand. Like 80% of the information that will come to you will be coming to you in a readable format. The most up to date, the most timely. The time it takes for someone to sit there, write a script, record it, post it. And once you write it, you could post it as a newsletter. So information will get to you faster if you're willing to read. And that's how I know, and that's how I knew about the one story that officer got out of jail. No one has made a video about it because no one has converted that article. It's crazy. People should be reading. The next thing is an important one, and it's anything you want to do. But you should create something that emotionally moves people. There are things that I have done or created that have made people have an emotional reaction. It can be good, it can be bad. Preferably good, preferably heartwarming. Create something that makes an emotional movement on somebody. Hopefully you get creative with it. It could be charity, it could be this, but it could be that. But someone told me that they read a chapter from my comic book and it really resonated with them because of the scenario, and I was just like, I'm happy I could do that for you. That was probably the best compliment I ever got. Another compliment was a blind person who was watching my podcast, or watching, I'm such an asshole, who was listening to my podcast, said that my level of description, the vernacular, the ability for me to put him in that scenario was breathtaking. That moved him. That moved me. So I'm a big component of that. And then the last one, which is the most important, emotional intelligence. I still get a little hot-tempered and I flare up, but I will flare up because I'm passionate, not because I'm out of control. There is no scenario where I'm going to allow someone to wrong me and not let it be known that it's not acceptable. Now, does emotional intelligence span to relationships? Absolutely. Guys, don't let anybody sit here tell you, alpha male tell you that being emotionally intelligent is a woman's game plan. More women have dropped their draws for me for my emotional intelligence than they have for me being able to bench press 450 pounds. Tell you that. Make sure you're using these 3 steps to garner emotional intelligence. 1, stop and assess. Before the feelings come, before you react to the feelings, just assess. Do you have the space to have feelings right now? Because you could be put in a hostile situation real quick. Number 2, is the person you're about to engage with in a less than savory, emotional, stressful situation capable of using an emotional intelligence? Are they capable of lowering themselves or rising to the occasion as needed? And then the most important part, did you think about what you just said? I can't tell you how many times someone has said some shit to me and I was about to respond back and I just was like, oh wait, I don't have to respond to that. I'm me. I'm me. What's that Boondock episode? I'm rich. I'm white. I don't have to respond to this. I'm above you. And that's why you're desperately trying to get at me. Because that's the only way you can approach me. I love the growth that I came. So in response, when it's all said and done, what has this extra year around the earth taught me? It's taught me this. Just because you can lift 450 pounds on bench press doesn't mean you have to carry the world.